Welcome, my name is Brendan Brown. I'm your host, and today we're going to have a special episode dedicated to my 3-year anniversary of the podcast. It was recently this past Tuesday as this recording and publishment of this episode, and I just wanted to release it on this Friday because, of course, it was going to be released on Tuesday because you're probably wondering, like, hey, if it is your anniversary, why didn't you release it on Tuesday? Well, it's because, first of all, personal issues with homework and things like that, managing school, and then also number two, I wasn't able to upload it because it actually accidentally got deleted. And then I also wasn't able to even upload it around the 21st because it was already midnight by the time I was finished with the video. So what I decided is, since I had homework, which killed the time for that day, I barely could have celebrated the day. Number two, I barely could even upload it by 12. And number three, I accidentally deleted it the next day. So I decided, let me just re-record it on this Thursday, launch it tomorrow, which is Friday, as it's publishment and recording of the episode. Well, really publishment of the episode. And I decided, let me just do that. Before I even say what I have to say, I just want you to know that if I sound kind of nasally, it's because of allergies. But let's continue on. My origin of how I started podcasting was by the inspiration of meeting a friend named Jeremiah Patterson back in 2019, November. And he told me about this so-called app called Anchor. And when he said he had a podcast, I was like, what's a podcast? He told me, well, a podcast is basically YouTube, but in audio format. And I was like, what? How can our content really be audio format only? I thought it was only on radio, but he was like, no, you can download it, you can listen to it. Because at first I was like, what the heck is this? And I researched it. Still, it was kind of complex at the time because it was new to me, but it's kind of cool. And then I think that same day, or either a few days after he had told me about that, I got inspired and realized I want to start my own podcast. But I said no, I didn't want to copy what he was doing at the time because I was feeling like, okay, maybe that's his own thing. But eventually, a few months later, I got nudged back in January or February. I decided no. But I know that God was nudging me to do it. Because personally, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. Or really the Holy Trinity. But March 21st had hit. That was the weekend I was locked up for COVID. That was the first weekend, actually, I was locked up for COVID. Because that week was the last week of school because of COVID. And I recorded my episodes that weekend. That Friday, I made my Anchor account. That Saturday, I recorded some episodes. That late Friday night, I did. And then Sunday morning or either afternoon, published my first episode. Boom. It became the podcast called Brendan Brown's Collections of Facts and Theories. I had different names like Den of Knowledge, Brendan Brown's Cave of Knowledge, Brendan Brown, this, that, XYZ. And then I decided, let me make collections of facts and theories. Because I wanted to talk about my own collection of facts and theories I had based on video game content, because I mainly was like one of those YouTubers, like a Rust Poet type or like a gaming YouTuber, but in audio format. Of course, I want to just be like that guy who give like updates on what's going on with the next game, and not just that, also be the multi-niche guy, because as I was in my rookie year of podcasting, I was very multi-niche. I had so many different niches I was doing, and I had to realize, especially from watching other YouTubers like Think Media Podcasts, helped me out to realize that I need to lower down on what I'm doing. Then I realized as 2020 went on later that year, late 2020, I met Alan Levi Simmons, host of the Purpose Pod. And once I met him, he inspired me to change up my content. And I realized maybe I need to start doing all this other content and start doing self-improvement content. You know, by me networking with him through social media, watching this podcast, and still am a dedicated listener. And then later on at the end of the 2020, beginning 2021, I watched his cousin's trailer, Nige Simmons, host of the No Job Podcast, trailer for that. Once that came out in 2021, watched his content, networked with him, and enjoyed everything, talking about how you should leave your job to pursue your purpose. And I also forgot to mention to you that the Purpose Pod, Alan Levi Simmons, his content is about just finding your purpose, or like interviewing people who found their purpose, mainly just purpose-driven, living your life, self-improvement, while Nige Simmons was more on the side where you just full-on leave your job, get your own career starting. And then later on, in May of 2021, I started watching Jordan Green, another inspiration. And I also watched Gary Vee. That all inspired me to realize I needed to do self-improvement content. And ever since then, I was consistent with it that whole year of 2021. The same way how I was consistent with my multi-niche in 2020, I was consistent that sophomore year of my podcasting in 2021. And then eventually, around the middle of the summer of 2021, because I was being nudged about this a few months ago, back in January, which I didn't know. I just thought I was just thinking for myself. But later on, I realized through God nudging me back in 2021 and getting inspired by the No Job podcast launching in January 2021, I decided to launch a video podcast because it seemed like it would be more broad and mainstream. And Nige Simmons, his content was so great, and I enjoyed the fact that it was both video and audio. And also watching Gary Vee for the first time throughout that time, I saw him had his normal YouTube channel and then also have his podcast, which is called the Audio Experience. Then he eventually made it the next year his YouTube channel, basically the same thing, but it's just called the Video Experience. Later that year in 2021, I just decided to work on everything, work on the business cards, the first ones of course, and then build up my website from the ground up, a brand new one. And I rebranded my podcast for the third time, and boom, launched it in 2022 and doing great, getting a lot of everything like that, especially using social media to help grow a lot. And May of 2022 hit. I was kind of inconsistent from May to June a little bit because of the fact that I was dealing with Algebra 2 and I was a virtual and I was a sophomore trying to practice for exams and etc. And then eventually around the summer I was kind of inconsistent because of the fact that I just felt like I've been working so hard for the past 2 years of podcasting that now that I'm actually getting the views, I was like, let me let it do its own work. But I was like, no, I actually have to put in the work for it to do its own work consistently. And I wasn't doing that. So that's caused me to mess up a little bit. And then, well, mess up a lot, I should say. I feel like 2022 wasn't a great successful year like 21 and 20 was. But I do believe that 2022 was way better than how I was starting this year. Eventually, I decided late 2022, again, God was nudging me. I believed that I needed to revamp it one more time. Finally, no more revamps. And I decided, let me use the same website, tweak it a little bit, make new business cards, and boom, launched it. And here we are today with this new podcast called The Development Pod. I also had issues with the name being too long, calling Brendan Brown's Collection of Facts and Theories. That was too long, so I decided, let me just change it to Development Pod. And now it's called The Development Pod. And it's more niche focused and it's more broad to my audience, so now they can understand what the podcast is really about. Collections, Facts, Theories, that's more old school of how I first started podcasting, because I was doing more like gaming theories or theories about life, this and that. But now I'm doing more, I'm just standing up, giving you one-on-one advice through this virtual silver screen, however you're looking at this. But I just really want to tell you that podcasting really inspired me, really changed my life. And with me launching the video podcast back in last year, 2022, it was making me able to have my podcast career and have my YouTube career be at the same point and both coherently work, because it's video podcast while also being a podcast for audio. And also did YouTube since 2021 because I have my own separate self-improvement YouTube channel, but of course I started the video podcast and launched that in 2022. So everything really worked out and it changed my life, changed my perspective, changed me as a person, and I'm just growing, as a person. So, and also I just want to show you, this was last year's business card from the video podcast back in 2022 when I first launched it, Collections of Facts and Theories, and then this is the current one for a new one. So this may be the new business card for the next 2 to 3 years, because I'm not rebranding no more. That's my last time rebranding, because that's like the third or either fourth straight time I rebranded. At least it wasn't too bad because I didn't have to make a whole new website. But I'm not rebranding again. I'm just going to keep it the same way it is. Of course it's going to be the same niche, but I'm not rebranding, no new name, no new theme color. It's going to be all the same for the next 3 years. And probably be the same thing, just with the different tweaks of logos and stuff. So, but before we end this episode, I just want to tell you that there's going to be a little short montage of me doing podcasting and YouTubing throughout these past few years. Very short and brief, so I hopefully you enjoy it. Peace. Oh, hello YouTubers and podcast listeners. Hello. Just Mortal excellent, but I wanted to really know more subscribers who are watching this channel. This is Brendan Brown's Virtual World of Knowledge, and today is going to be a very special episode. As you see, I have a turtleneck on and the watch and everything. We're going to have an all black, hold on, let me start. Alright guys, we're about to do another unboxing. This is going to be the original Mortal Kombat arcade game. It's like a mini version of it. The first game, 1992, it was released, and I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan, so I'm going to do an unboxing of this, and Brendan Brown. I'll be right again. And today, as you see in front of the title, is 7 signs to know that you are unproductive. Number 1. Look at this. We see Doom. Oh shoot, not Doom. I just saw Doom. There goes Doom. Xbox and PS5 version. And Batman Arkham Knight. And mainly on this YouTube video, I just want to sit down and talk with you guys about the podcast because we had just recently had our first anniversary this past Sunday as this recording and as the release of this video. And also, we have just done a lot of stuff to support the podcast. We hyped up a bunch of episodes, and now we came to the part where now it all lead up to Sand Sunday. People like that, you're not going to move on, you're not going to increase in whatever you're doing. Which is why I always tell you guys to be confident in what you love doing and be around people who want the same values as you. Not the same career. It could be the same career, but it also could be the same goal of having that same personality that's very nice and goal driven. But it's just going to be what it's going to be. I am going to end this YouTube channel. My YouTube journey has been wonderful, but I've decided I'm going to stop making YouTube videos. I was just joking with you guys. I'm not going to stop making YouTube videos. What I'm actually going to do is that I'm actually switching my content because I'm still going to talk about self-improvement, motivational speaking, all such, etc. But what I am going to do is that I'm going to switch from this channel to a new channel. You should see it right there that says the Brendan Brown's Collections of Facts and Theories podcast, or Brendan Brown's Collections of Facts and Theories YouTube channel. On there, because I tell you guys all the time I have a podcast, so what I just thought of is that maybe because I've already been doing so much YouTubing from all the way up January this year to now, I realized that maybe I should just make a YouTube channel based off of my YouTube channel, which podcast channel, that I'm currently doing. Links down below there if you want to listen to the audio version. Yourself. Why kill yourself if you can stop now and make yourself live? Welcome to the Brendan Brown's Collections of Facts and Theories YouTube channel.
Hey, what's up, guys? Well, thank you for having me on your podcast, by the way. I really appreciate that, and thanks for coming on mine as well. I am a podcast host of the podcast Create, Don't Hesitate, and my show talks about people that have dreams and just sharing my ideas and sharing my inspiration to just encourage people to just follow their dreams and push past
It's really just priorities, obviously I'm gonna put God before anything. So if let's just say I score a touchdown, the first thing I'm gonna do is either point at the sky or tell you that it was all God, because I got to give him the glory before anything, because without him I probably wouldn't even be doing the stuff I'm doing right now.
Welcome to the Brendan Brown's Collections of Facts and Theories podcast show. This guy.
Yeah, so my name is Shaquille Jackson. I'm 14. I have my own organization called Project I Am, and I build awareness to homelessness, and I provide blessing bags and toiletry items for those in need, different daily essentials that we can sometimes take for granted that they don't even have. So
welcome to the Brendan Brown's Collections of Facts and Theories podcast show. I'm your host, Brendan Brown, and today we have a special guest with us. Something unique, someone who's really unique, and it's called Julian Morris.
So, like you said, my name is Julian Morris. I'm 14 years old. I'm a sophomore, and I am the CEO and editor-in-chief of Swag Magazine.
Welcome to the Development Pod. I'm your host, Brendan Brown, and today we're going to be talking about how to do better in your daily life in 2023. Try new things. Do better. Don't just be afraid. Face your fears if you're afraid of something. So yeah, guys, that was the montage. Hopefully you enjoyed everything. Hopefully everything went out great and wasn't of poor quality. So yeah, you see the evolution of how I was from when I first started to now. I was kind of nervous. Now I'm more confident and more extrovert and things like that. Of course, I'm an introvert and extrovert together. I'm ambivert, so I'm both. But either way, to get to the point here, because you probably don't know what those are, I'm more of the person who's like the confident guy, the guy who can give you that advice, the guy you can be trustworthy of now. And like I say, podcasting has really changed my life, made me more sociable, everything. I feel like it just amplified how I wanted to be because I've always wanted self improvement before COVID had hit. And once COVID hit, I was like, dang, because like early 2020, I had that spark of like wanting to actually change because like I was always this person who had like a low mindset, a low thoughts, small minded before 2020. Once 2020 hit, I was like changing my mindset. So just glad that like podcasting and everything changed me, changed my life, and hopefully it impacted you, and hopefully my content impacts you. If you really enjoyed this podcast, subscribe on all audio platforms, and if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the notification button, like this video, share it, share all my content, and make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day or night, however you're watching this.